Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so
Hopefully that
again,
will send it to your plate.
yeah, I think it will. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Just sharing again that we sent out the reminder link, so hopefully not too many people are hindered by the rain. Our speaker is running late. He just told us that he's running late, so hopefully he joins us pretty soon. But we did want to just speak with you all while we give him some time to get in. Just I think some of you been on since the first session. And if not, I think some of you been on for at least more than one session outside of tonight. So we just wanted to open the floor to you all to share some input. Before I get started, if there's anyone new on, my name is Cindy Reed with the East Cyprus Community Partnership, and I will um, hand it over to our collaborating partner as well, Emmanuel.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Perez. Again, I'm the program coordinator here at Healthy Start Brooklyn within the Department of Health. I'm partnered here with Miss Cindy to bring you this wonderful workshop series. We hope that you are taking as much as information as possible. We do greatly value your feedback into this process, since we are still in the learning phases on trying to figure out how to best coordinate this and coordinate some of these workshops for everyone here. But yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for sticking with us for the last couple of weeks.
Yes. So now we want to open the floor for you to be as honest as you want, just sharing about your experience, your takeaways, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, so that when we do this again, we can make sure it's a better experience for all.
Nope, we're perfect. Awesome.
No, oh yeah, I'm unmuted. No, I enjoyed everything. I think the only one I missed was the very first one, but then and that was the one on the taxes. But when she came back for part two, I think what was her name? Maria?
Yes.
Yeah. She did do a recap, so that was helpful. I mean, the speakers were excellent. I mean, very clear, very thorough in everything that they covered. Um, the chef last week, whew, I was just blown away. I was actually sharing it with a friend of mine, telling her all what that was covered. And so that's why I really wanted to fly because I really want to try to attend that health fair on the 12th. And I said, "Oh, I can't find the flyer." But I did reserve the date just under each Flatbush until I could get it. But yes, very, very informative. So I'm looking forward to listening to tonight's presentation and the speaker that's going to deliver that.
Thank you for sharing that. And I just posted the flyer that she's referring to, and the meeting she's referring to is our open door meeting, which happens on the second Thursday of each month from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we had Chef Steph share about some real great health um, advice on the eating all of the colors of food and vegetables, and just even about how to store your vegetables the best way
Mhm.
and stuff. So it was a lot of information, and the way she presented it, it's not. I don't think it was like a common conversation you would hear when someone talks about health. It was different, and she knew what she was talking about, which is why we brought her to the table. But yeah, but thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
even what you added, Cindy, when you asked her about the supplements, because that to me was an important key. Because a lot of people, I said it says supplement, which means you're actually supposed to get most of your nutrients from the food. So I was glad that you did bring up that question, and she gave us some guidance and how on what supplements to use because you can get so overwhelmed with all the different supplements that's being advertised on what you should take, and then also being very mindful of making sure that you know where that supplement is coming from. Just because it says nature made doesn't mean that it's nature made. That's actually a supplement that's put out by a pharmaceutical company. So it is very important, like she said, that you do know where the supplements are coming from, because some of them just have fillers in them. So I usually make sure that mine says third party tested to make sure that I am getting the ingredients that they say is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I hear you on that one. Sorry, the speaker's trying to get on. Does anybody else want to add anything about their experience for these past couple of weeks or other topics that you would like to hear about?
Also, if this is your first time, if you haven't heard of the other sessions, what are some of the topics that you would want to hear about?
Yes.
What are some of the burning desires? What brings you here today?
I don't want to be the only one talking, but if no one else is saying anything, um, I would like, if there's, I don't know if you've covered it in the past, because there's some sessions that I have missed, but something along the lines of like homeowners best practices, so to speak, in terms of like maintaining properties, or making sure that you check your deed information with all the scams that are going on and the deed theft. So something along those lines, or even like someone can speak about um, home renovations, or how to um, look for contractors, and what sort of information should you obtain other than going through the Better Business Bureau, because that's just like a forget it. So yeah, something along that. That's what would interest me, since I am a homeowner.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. I know in previous meetings, and Emmanuel, correct me if I'm wrong, um some mention investment as well as another topic they would like to hear about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I believe Mr. RK just joined us, our speaker. Mr. RK, can you hear us?
He's muted. Okay.
There he goes.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm trying to get this together. Give me 2 seconds here.
Take
I'm
your
sorry.
time. We're
No
happy
problem.
that you're here.
This weather caught me off guard. I
I
didn't
think you
know it
caught
was
several of us off guard, but no worries.
I didn't know it was supposed to be raining this evening. Can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. All right, let me just get this little board behind me so y'all can see that. Take my little blur off so
Yes,
it can
that's
be
hindering this.
visible. Yeah. I'm gonna take the background blur off. Hold on, I'm not as fast a professional as I used to be with this blur here. Um, okay. 1 second. I can take the blur. How's everybody
Deidre asked
doing?
about the attendance for this meeting.
Yeah, so the attendance, we changed it up. Everyone, as you entered, you should have registered. So now we have the attendance. Did everyone get that prompt to register when they signed into Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we don't have to go through that now. That takes away that there, and we'll enter you all in for the raffle during the meeting. So no worries about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Here we go. Okay. The blur is off. You guys should be able to see that now.
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Let me just enter that. Close that.
Now, I know some of you heard about some credit last week. We had some conversation, but I don't think you've ever heard anyone present it the way Mr. RK is going to present it.
That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure right there.
I've never
That's a
heard
lot of
anyone.
pressure right
I
there.
never heard
All
anyone
right.
give it the way you give it. So
Let's divide it this way.
I'm
There
just
we
trying to
go.
set them up. Make sure
There
you
we
got your
go.
pen out, take your notes. I mean, all of the information shared so far during this series has been amazing. And you know, all the presenters we selected purposely. So yes.
All right. Okay, let me take this over. And we are ready. My humblest apologies. Normally I am 50 times better at getting this done the proper way. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me just.
I haven't seen an easel in a long time. I feel
Ain't
like I'm in school.
Ain't it? I love my easel. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm old with it like that.
Wow.
I love my easel. There we go. Everybody can see the easel.
Yep.
All righty. Let me back up. Is it clear? So do I need to bring it closer? Can everybody see from here?
I think it's good. Maybe when you start writing, we'll see if the print is big enough. But it's right now, it's fine.
Perfect. So let me just make sure I got there we go. So you can see me. I'm in the camera. I fit. There we go. All right. So good evening, everybody. My name is Randy Williams. This particular presentation on credit is something that I've kind of patented. Most people pay for credit repair and they pay for credit resolution. A lot of times we put ourselves in situations where we need help clearing things up, right? So it's a simple conversation. It's a basic formula of what you need to manage and to create the credit score you're looking for. What makes the credit score? Does everybody know their credit score? First, I would offer you that you get an Experian account, right? I see thumbs floating. I like that. I see thumbs floating. If your camera's not on, don't be afraid to send the expression so I know you were live back there. Okay, there we go. I see thumbs floating. We got thumbs everywhere. I am happy now. Thank you. All right, so here's understanding what makes that credit score, right? So it's a simple formula. So credit average daily balance plus minimum due plus high credit score equals risk score. You know it as the BF score, credit bureau score. Can you see that? Or do I need to make it thicker?
No, that's perfect.
That's good. All right, great. We cooking with kerosene now. We on our way. So the credit bureau score, the bureaus that you guys are used to, right, is Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. There are others, but those are the three main and populous that everybody knows, right? Those are the ones that most people go by. Those are the ones that everybody has an idea of, right? Those are the three that when you ask for your credit report, those are the three that you want to see so that you can find what your score is. Most, when you're doing mortgages, they go off the median average. When you go to get a car, it's usually Experian or TransUnion, depending on who you go to, if they have their own bank. So each score is important. How do we understand the score? So most months, there are 30, 31 days. So it doesn't matter what you do, every month your score is going to change. It's going to go up 5 points, down 5 points, up 3 points, down 4 points. Doesn't matter what you do, your score will always change. So those people who are on it and they're like, oh, my score went down 4 points. Why did it go down 4 points? Because there was a day taken out of the month and it is an average of the month, right? So minimum due, most of us are either due on the 1st, 15th, you got a couple 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in the middle, you got a couple 17th, 18th in the middle. But that minimum due, it is important to be on time or before. I know there's a grace period for most credit cards or most car loans or most, but we don't want to dabble in a grace period. Why don't we want to dabble in a grace period? Because the score is based on risk, right? What type of risk are you? What type of person are you with your funds, your finances? What type of, how do you handle your credit, right? We're going to go into that. How do you handle your credit? And high score is if you have a credit limit, right? Whatever your limit is, that is about as high as you can go on that card. So for your credit limit, what I normally advise is not to spend more than 20 to 30% of the card. What do you mean? You have $1,000 card, you're allowed $200 to $300 monthly on that card. Now, I know that's usually the beginning of an issue because most of us, we have a card, we have a need, we go spend. We are now learning the formula, right? You want a 700, 800 credit score? That's what you're looking for. You can go as high as 899. I've never seen a 900, right? I've seen an 890. How do we get into the upper echelon of the credit score? This is the formula, right? So you have 30 days to make your minimum due. The minimum due, let's say the minimum due is $50, right? 30 days to make that minimum due on the first, before and or on whatever the due date is, and you don't want to use more than 20 to 30% of that card. Any questions so far? I'm setting a timer so y'all just know I'm not going to be, I want to leave some time for folk to ask questions. So that's why I'm setting the timer. I'm not on my phone. I'm just setting the timer.
Feel free to open up your mic, so leave it on the chat. I'll read it out to you.
Say again.
I was talking to everyone else, so saying if they're too shy to open up their mics, they can leave it in the chat, and I'll read it out.
Right. If you guys are too shy, you can, somebody please just read their questions as we go. All right. My stopwatch is on. There we go. Okay. So that being said, that simple formula that I've just shared with you is literally all you need to know to manage your credit report. That's it.
So when you say that you don't want to spend more than 20 to 30% on the card, are you making sure that you're paying that down to maintain that amount?
That is so if you have $1,000 card, your maximum that you can spend on that card is $200, right? $300 at the worst. That is your maximum that you can spend on the card. You have to understand what they're looking for is how you manage. Right? Because what they're going to do is manage the risk.
So it's based on the credit line. Like like you said, if the card, your maximum you could spend is, like, say 15,000, you're saying to use only 20,000, 20% of that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you have a $15,000, you have a $20,000 credit card, you're allowed $4,000 at maximum. That's 20%.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so if they allow you $1,000, you're only supposed to spend 20%, but most people go over that. Is that what get them in trouble? Because they see 1,000?
So there's some words that I'm going to use differently. I don't use the word trouble, right? I use the word management, right? So that going over that 20% shows them how you manage what you were given. I think with most of us, we maximize just about everything that we have, right? So you have a house and you have a couch that's too big for your living room and you have a china cabinet in a space that was meant for a kitchen table, and you got 8 chairs in a space that was meant for 6. It's just kind of how most of us manage, right? So it's a little different with credit. What they're asking you to do is to manage the credit a certain way. And most of us are never taught this formula, right? I'm gonna rewrite the formula again. Did you get this? Did everybody get what they wanted here? I'll bring it back if you need it, right? So let me give you the formula again. So you have your average daily balance, right? 30 days, 31 days. You have your minimum due, which is a certain percentage. Every bank does something different. Due on the 1st, usually on the 15th is how we do things, but banks will have the 3rd, the 6th, the 8th, or whatever day it may be. So we want it on or before. Then you have your high limit, meaning the maximum that you could spend your credit card limit. So if you have $1,000 card, right, that equals your risk score, or as we know it, your bureau score. Take stock of this formula, right? Some people pay Lexington Law or these other companies $99 a month to manage this formula. That's it. Well, my score now is 540. How do I get it up? You're going to manipulate what you can in this formula. I have $1,000 card. I've spent $900. Well, we see what part we have to manipulate to raise the score, right? So we have to pay this down to get this to go up, right? We can't change how many days. The question is, are we late? When is our paycheck coming? When do our finances come? Right? So we maybe want to change the date. I get paid on the 15th. So my payment should be due on the 17th. Because if it's due on the 12th and I don't get paid till the 15th, I'm late. Those are some simple things. And I know it sounds silly, but those are some simple things. Yes.
Is that based on if a person is just paying the minimum payment required, or how does that apply if someone is going to pay whatever that balance is off in full?
So here's the issue that you'll have, right? I have $1,000 card, and I spend $900 a month, and I pay $900 a month.
So
how much is left to manage? So how much of a score would you have? The thing about managing credit is you must carry a balance. Why?
No, we're not taught that. We taught to pay it off.
And you were taught wrong.
Because I pay my balance off, but my score is like 830.
The reason your score is 830 is because you pay your balance.
That's why I'm asking that question.
You pay your balance after carrying it for a certain amount of days. So what they've collected from you is an amount of interest, right? The reason your score is what it is because they've collected a certain amount of interest from you. So if you're going to pay it off in full, if you're a person who uses your card for $2,500, $3,500 a month and you pay it off in full, of course you're going to have a great score because they have great interest. They have great usage from you.
I just want to add.
But you're paying it off so that you don't have any interest.
But I want to add to everyone that that credit is also built across a multi-spectrum of not just credit cards. So you mentioned earlier that you're a homeowner, so mortgages. For people who have cars or car loans, that's also a version.
Very good. You're 100% right. So I was just talking simply about cards, or what we know as revolving credit.
Mm-hmm.
So your revolving credit is usually the larger portion of your credit profile. right? He's 100% right. Thank you for that. 100% right. So your credit profile is built on revolving, is built on, what is that? Coupon. Coupon loans. What's a coupon loan? Anybody have any idea what a coupon loan is?
That's the one where you rip off the little perforated when you're paying.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so
and
old
that's how it
That's
isn't that
old
old
school.
school? So I'll give y'all a joke. My kids probably will never see anything that was a coupon loan
Yeah,
because
you
everything
rip
is
off the
internet
little
based,
thing. The
right?
little-
So when I was a kid, my dad used to come home. He'd take his entire paycheck. He would go to check cash. He would then put it in an envelope. The lady behind the glass put an envelope for him, and he put it in his pocket. And when he came home, you knew on Friday that white envelope in his pocket was his paycheck. He would take it out of his pocket, hand it to my mother. My mother would open it. She would take $100 bill out, hand it back to him. She would then take that envelope and say, y'all get the basket. And we knew the basket on the top of the TV, where all the mail was full of coupon loans. Right. So back then, the light bill, the gas bill,
Yes.
she had, I'll make y'all laugh. She had, what was that? There was a book that she used to get her stuff out of all the time. She had a light bill, the gas bill. She had
Finger Hut?
Finger Hut. She had a Finger Hut
Finger
book,
Hut.
and she would
Yeah.
take her little Finger Hut coupon out, and she would put all the money. She would then and then as we got older, my father would come home and do the same thing, but instead of her taking the money and putting the money at each bill, she would put the money away. She'd take all the and she would write checks for everything. So she would write checks, and then we would go with her to the bank. She'd make the deposit, and then we go to the post office and drop off all the bills. That was a Saturday morning run as usual when we weren't doing grocery shopping, right? So there's revolving, there's coupon. Some folk have the student loans, right? Yep. And there's a way to attack that too. So I'll give you 20 seconds of student loans.
Don't make it 20 seconds. Speak on it fully.
Okay. I see some folk have some issues. You have minimum due on your student loans, right? If you look at the statement, you also have interest. If you look carefully, you'll realize they might say they want $49 for the student loan for your minimum due, but the interest be like $127. Your minimum due will never lower the loan. You're always going to pay more interest than they're asking for minimum due because they figure you're a college student and you don't have the money to pay the interest, right? So when I paid in student loans, I had 3 daughters who graduated college. Thank you, Jesus, they're done. What I did was I took the minimum due. I doubled the interest, right? So let's say 300. My numbers are not exact. 127 twice is whatever. 300, right? And I made that 350 my monthly payment. I didn't look at it as a minimum due. I looked at it as, what do I need to pay to begin to see this thing go down? Because it doesn't go down if you're just paying the minimum due.
Yeah, when I started out, that's the only way it goes down.
Right.
Because you
That's the
pay
only way
that
it goes down.
$50 and be like, wait, whoa, the number increased. How is that?
The number increased because the interest was always more than they were asking for. Right? So that right there is the gem for how you get rid of a student loan.
I guess that works similarly for a mortgage. When you're paying the principal,
mortgage, car note,
interest, and you make a double payment. Yeah.
Right. Anything that do double that payment a month if you can afford to do so. And then you'll see it really going away after a couple of years. You'll really see it go away. But most folk make the mistake of just paying the minimum due. And when they pay the minimum due, it doesn't go down. It goes up. Over years, you just watch the number increase. You're like, why is it going up? And I'm paying. This is why student loans are the way they are. So yes, your bureau score is built on more than your credit cards, but the larger portion is usually your credit cards. So that's why I kind of focus on the credit cards, because for most folk, this payment idea is definitely going to make a difference. And understanding the credit bureau score of your credit card is, I think, what most of us struggle with even more so. Those of us that don't have car loans and home loans, right? This will work on the car loan and the home loan and the double payment a month. Absolutely. But most of us, our struggle is we got a $300 credit card and it's always at $379. What do we do to get it down, and how do we get our score to go up? Normally it's the formula on the credit card that I've found for most folk that help. Any other questions while we're going through?
Yeah, I just want to go back a little bit and just make sure I got it clear. When you say you have $1,000 credit and you say you spend 900 on that credit, are you spending it down to get it to 200 before the month comes past? Preferably?
Yes. Okay. You're going to pay $700 to try to get it down to 200 by the end of the month.
Got it.
Right. So you're not paying the minimum due. You're trying to pay it down. So for those who pay things off totally, I would say don't pay it off totally. Pay it down. If you have $1,000 card, pay it down to $100 and carry that $100 balance.
But then how does the interest come into play then if you're doing it that way?
So you do realize that your minimum due is part interest, part premium, right? Part whatever your balance is. So it's not all. Whatever payment you send, I want you to look at your statement. You'll see, even when you're paying it off every month, something is going toward interest. Something is going toward the average daily balance of accrued interest. And if you are a person who takes out cash advances.
No, I don't take out no cash advance.
Okay, but some people do, right? So if you take out cash advances, those are calculated daily. That's not a monthly thing. Those are calculated daily. So for those of you who say, you know what, I'm just going to go grab $100 or $150, the interest will be accrued daily on that. That's not accrued at the end of every month.
Question.
Mr. Arquette, you're saying you follow this no matter what the amount is on the card, even if it's a $10,000, $20,000 card?
So, absolutely. You want an 800 credit score and you don't have anything else. We're not talking about mortgages and car notes and whatever. If you just have credit cards, that is the formula to follow to watch your score increase and be where you want it to be. Yes, ma'am. Because remember, again, the whole thing, what type of risk are you? That's how you use the card is going to say to your credit company. And what's funny, let's say you start doing this, right? You haven't done this. You learned this tonight, and you're starting from April 1st. This is how I'm going to handle it. I promise you by August, you're going to get offers. When you start managing it where it's 10%, I believe there's an algorithm with their computers that says this person is now using the card appropriately. We need to give them more. How are we going to get some interest from them if we don't give them more? So you will find that you'll start getting other credit cards. You're getting other offers. You're getting credit limits are going up because they're seeing how you manage the card. Let me also say this, because I know history has taught that you should keep it as light as possible, right? You need 3 lines of credit. So now, if we're going for something major like a mortgage, 3 lines is more than credit cards, right? You need to have a car note on there. You need to have other things that you've done on there. Student loans also are not a bad thing if you're going for a mortgage and they're being handled properly. But in the usual world of credit, you need to have 3 lines of credit. You'll start with 3 minors, right? And those 3 minors will lead you to your 3 majors, right? I'll give you a joke. Let's see, you had a Capital One. I'm not going to write it because y'all not going to get me in trouble. Let's say you had a Capital One. Let's say you had an Acer. And let's say you had some Mercy cards. Those cards usually are not more than $750. Capital One might go up to $1,500, maybe even $3,500, depending on how good you are with them. You have those cards. You'll soon walk into Walmart, and if you say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try for a Walmart. I'm at a $650 or better with those 3 Capital One cards. I got multiple Capital Ones, right? I got $650 or better with those 3 Capital Ones, and I walk into Walmart. Walmart will give you a $2,500 card on the spot. So now I've got Walmart, Ladies, I like Victoria's Secrets. I got a Victoria's Secrets card, and I'm a Macy's-aholic, right? So I go to Macy's now. I got a Macy's card. You got store cards, a Macy's card, a Victoria's Secrets card, a Walmart card. All of a sudden, you get your first Discover offer.
Mhm.
You've done well with them. You've done used this formula with them. It is documented that you are a good risk, right? You're at 730, 740 with the store boughts. Now Discover says, hey, you want a card, you have a year of the store boughts and you're really good. Discover's gonna start you off at 700, 750. Now you can call Discover and say, hey, you ain't see what I've done already? I'm not new to credit. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna need you to raise that 700 credit score. Discover, and I can't remember right now the other one, but Discover especially will give you an immediate upgrade on a new card. So if you get 750, you tell them you want the card, but you don't really like the credit limit, they'll bump you up to 1500. See what you do with it. Right? So this formula across the board works in a way that will allow you to be able to manipulate and move through the world of credit in a way that would make you a wanted commodity with credit. Right? And it's just as simple as making sure to pay it on time, making sure not to go over a certain amount, making sure you understand that 30 days, 31 days, the score is always going to go up and down. Staying vigilant on inquiries. I'll give you this one as well, right? So the majors look very closely at inquiries. What's an inquiry? I walked into T-Mobile. I said, hey, I want a phone. They said, we're going to check your credit to see if we can give you a line and how many lines we can give you. T-Mobile then goes to all the three credit bureaus, the three majors, and say, hey, what does she look like? So because they asked the question, that is an inquiry on your credit report. You went to T-Mobile on Monday. You went to Sprint. I don't know if they're still around on Tuesday. You went to Cricket on Thursday. You will have three separate inquiries, but they will be in the same field. So if you went to go do something and somebody had to look at your credit, or someone of the majors looked at your credit, it would make sense. She was looking for a new phone. That's why you have these three inquiries. Monday morning, you got up. I want a new phone. You're standing at the phone center. You look across the street in Hyundai. You're like, you know what? I want to go see. I like that new Hyundai. I'm gonna go over there across the street. So you go to Hyundai. You sit down with the guy, finance guy, and he looks at your credit. You walk out of there. You get it. You get approved for your Hyundai. You jump in your Hyundai. You got your new phone, your new Hyundai. You're driving down the street. You see some signs of homes for sale. You say, you know what? I'm gonna go in there and see what it costs to buy one of these new houses, and they run your credit. Friday, you go. You say, you know what? I want to get a new Discover card. And when you try Discover, though your credit score is 770, they decline you. And they say, we'll send you a letter. 30 days later, you get a letter from Discover saying, you have too many inquiries in different fields. And that's why they'll deny you. Some credit cards will deny you for having differentiating inquiries and too many inquiries. You go to buy a house and you have the same scenario. And now the mortgage guy is like, did you get something from Hyundai? Did you get something from T-Mobile? No, I didn't get anything. I need a letter from T-Mobile saying the inquiry was just a way to look at it. It wasn't a purchase. It was just you looking into something. So the mortgage company is going to want to know, are you a shopper? Are you just walking around shopping for credit? Are you just those things, the inquiries tell those things. So a lot of times when you do credit repair or when you get your own Experian account, don't be afraid to pay that $24 a month to get all three, right? Because now you know what to do to monitor your own credit report. So $24 a month versus $99 a month to somebody, you can do it yourself. Get you the full account on Experian, go in there and take a look at it. Now there's other credit bureau monitoring agencies, LifeLock. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't subscribe to anything. I tell you whatever fits you. For some people, LifeLock is great. There's identity theft protection. Sure. I like Experian because it's simple. It's a simple follow. The average person can go on, spend $24, be able to see Be able also to go, they have a credit monitor module that you can go on and you can manipulate it. If I pay this down, if I pay that down, where's my score going to go? Right. So you can map your own credit and be able to decide how you want to attack your credit with something as simple as the $24.99, all three bureaus on Experian. Right. So it's not an advertisement for them, but this is what I use and what I usually tell my people to use depending upon what they need, right, to do their own credit manipulations and their own credit work, right? Any
I
other
use
questions?
I use the annual credit report.com where you can use it for the year for the
Yes,
3 credit
yes,
bureaus.
yes. I like that as something to use. For those of us who are a little bit more, want to be a little bit more on top of the game, once a year is not enough. I would say
But
to
I
you,
don't do all three at one time. I do one every quarter.
well, I mean, it works for you. Normally, I like to see all three bureaus because there'll be stuff on one bureau and not on the
Right.
other.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you start to get a little bit more savvy in understanding this, there'll be something on your credit report that shouldn't be on there, right? Like, oh, there's an old Visa that I got rid of years ago and I made an agreement with them and I paid that off, right? So now it's on TransUnion, but it's not on Equifax. So now you got to go on TransUnion and say, hey, what y'all doing? Y'all got to get rid of this. This is off my credit now. This should have stopped reporting, right? There are other things on your credit report that should not be there. Now that I'm thinking about that, right?
Someone has a question in the chat before you move forward. They
Sure,
say,
ask the question.
is an American Express card the same if you pay the balance every month?
So American Express is a little different, right? I had to learn myself. American Expresses, certain American Expresses have no real limit. So you can go and you can pick up a Jaguar tomorrow for $150,000 as long as you can pay for that Jaguar in full at the end of the month. American Express is a little different depending on which card you have, right? So if you have a Platinum American Express, paying it off every month is fine. They have a membership fee that's exorbitant so that they can get their interest from you from the membership fee, right? So you're paying $3,500 a month or something like that to be a member of those Platinum and Titanium cards, and you're getting value back for it. So you get points, you get free stuff, you get all of that as a part. American Express is a little bit different as a community when it comes to credit. So for American Express, I would say you're gonna end up paying every month in full. Yes, but they monitor differently, so they'll report differently. And honestly, you have a Platinum American Express on your credit, $25,000, $30,000. There's really nothing you can't touch if you manage it properly. I would still attempt to keep away from maximizing the card every month if it has a limit. I think some of them after COVID got limits, but for a long time, a lot of them didn't have limits at all. A lot of them you could just go get what you wanted, and as long as you were able to take care of paying it at the end of the month or doing it, I think it was a 2 payment system. That's how American Express was working. But when COVID came around, a few of my friends who had those Platinum cards woke up one day with you could do whatever to you have a $25,000 limit. That's that. So American Express, depending on who you have, depending on what program you have, may be a little bit different. But yes, still stay away from going to whatever maximums if there is a limit on your card. Again, it's about the average daily balance and managing what credit you've been allowed. Any other questions?
I do have one. I'm not sure if they pay attention to this, but I'm interested to see if you have a card and you have a good amount of like the Discovery card. When you use it, you get some cash back. Should you be using that cash back towards the bill, or it's okay to just put it in your own account?
Listen, I happen to be somebody who likes those cashbacks, but I like to take my money and run. Right?
Me too.
I mean, you can put it back to the card, but what was the use of using it if you're gonna use it? Use it to go get something nice for yourself.
I treat myself to something.
Right? You paid for it, so use it for something nice for yourself.
Okay, I just wondering if they pay attention to that and prefer you give it back or something like that. But does it matter?
No. I don't think they pay attention to it in that way. And I don't think it really matters. And you've earned the right. So usually it's you spent it, you've earned it. They allow you to live. That's how it goes.
The cashback, as I've learned about it, is more of a hook to get you to use that card versus other cards.
Right.
So the more it's a built-in dopamine system. So every time
Right.
you check your balance, you see that, oh, you got some more points coming in. That means you got some more cash coming in. Oh, you know what? I should buy that expensive thing with the card, because that expensive thing with the card will give me more points. But it
Right.
also gives you more interest, and then
Right. Right.
it's a devil.
Right. So the reason they do it, like you said, is to get you to use that card if you got a pocket full of cards. I know people who use. Here we go. Let's talk about the benefits, right? The zero interest offers,
Mm.
right? So I got a card and I got 14.9 on this card, and I got 10 on this card. And if I took it over to the zero interest offer, I would just be paying the balance for that year. I wouldn't have any interest. And that's a big gimmick, right? Just same with the cash back, right? All these are to attract customers, right? I was one of the first for the Shell MasterCard. It's not around anymore, right? But you got gas, you got
Yeah.
BJ's, right? You got and do you see what's happening with this war? BJ's gas is the same price as BP now.
Mm.
There was a time where BJ's gas was almost $1 cheaper than your average gas in the street. But the Strait of Hormuz being closed, most of these people now are going through having to get oil sent over. So gas is going up. It's up $1.30 more than it was this time last year, I think they said, or this time maybe even late last year. So BP gas, the gas stations, your store cards, right? That's that 20% off, that 50% off on some days, right? Your Macy's card, where you have that combined, right? It's 20% in store, 50% on the card. You're getting 70% off. Those were the days my mother used to buy her comforters. your bed in a bag is $300, but today it's $50.77. So that's something that we had to learn. These are also gimmicks that get you to go with the card. Use the gimmicks. There's no reason not to go with the card that gives you what you need. For me, it's gas.
Yeah, me too.
And for me, soon it'll be travel. So I'm a plug JetBlue because they're my favorite. Right. So JetBlue. Right. I'm gonna take those miles. Right. So if I spend for everything I spend, I get a couple. When you get past worrying about, when you learn how to manage the credit, now it's about the benefits that you're going to get using those cards. Right. So now you have the cash back. Right. For some of us, the zero incentive is the way to go. Some of you have some very high interest, 25%, 35%. How about saving that monthly? Right? That monthly interest by transferring everything to a 0% for a year. How much money would that save you? Don't get so stuck. Don't be afraid, right? To use the incentives.
What I did was, because I was paying my my balance off, I called the bank and said, listen, I'm paying my balance, so y'all need to come down on this APR, because it was like 24 point something. So now for past 10, 12 years, I only have an APR of 8.75.
Right. And that's a great idea. Some of us are sitting with the same card in our pocket 10 years and have never did anything more than watch a little increase here and there. I mean, if you're really using it, or if you really have a destination in your head for where you want to go, you want to buy a house, now is the time to call them. You've been there with them 10 years at 22%. Now is the time to call them and say, hey, lower your interest rate and raise my credit limit. I'm going to be doing some things near soon. Some other banks that I've been around recently. So my thing recently has not just been credit. It's been lines connected to personal loans. So a lot like Santander. Santander give you $25,000 for breathing. Your score is good. You've been done well with your other cards. $25,000 is a personal loan. They'll give it to you as a check. You can put it in. So here's the trick with Santander, though. It's a cash advance. It's not going to be just a credit line sitting unless you're using it that way. But normally you have to pull how much you pull into another account. Take it out of that account. You put it in your checking account. You go spend it. Right? If you have something that you're making money on, right? Very wealthy people understand that money needs to make money. It's not just to spend. That money is not just for bags and shoes, right? And I mean that for men too these days, right? Men got their bags and big on their sneakers. I'm big on my shoes and sneakers as well. So it's not just to be spent. How does your money make you money? That's what this credit really should be about, right? Most of us were introduced to credit. Whether I know I was introduced to credit in high school. How I was introduced to credit was I went to a basketball game. I went to a Knick game, and there was a table out front with water bottles. And they were like, "You want a water bottle? Fill out this application." And I filled out the application, and I got me a nice water bottle. And about 2 months later, this card showed up. I said, "Mom, look, I got a Chase card, and it has a limit of $300." And my mom said, "Well, look at you. What you gonna do with it?" I don't know. Nobody had talked to me about credit. And in that moment, when the opportunity was there, my mother didn't know much about credit either. What you gonna do with that credit? Spend it and pay it back. Well, how you gonna pay it back? You ain't got a job. You in high school. I don't know, but I'm gonna use the card. So I took the card. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I bought my first pair of Nikes, Air Force Ones, white Air Force Ones. I always wanted them, and my mother refused to buy them. So now I had the opportunity, and I bought my first pair of Air Force Ones. They couldn't repo them, thank God, but they never got paid for them because I bought those sneakers and didn't have a job to pay it back. And when the letters started coming, and I would throw them in the garbage. What are they gonna do? It wasn't until maybe 5, 6 years later when I decided I wanted a car. No, it was a cell phone. Nextel had cell phones. I went to Nextel for a cell phone, and they ran your credit because they would give you 3 to 5 lines at Nextel. And so I went to get a Nextel phone, and they were like, "Well, you have this judgment from Chase on your credit." What judgment is that? Didn't even remember. Didn't have the sneakers no more. Didn't. Ended up them calling, right? The lady was very helpful. She called Chase and found out what it was. And she said, "Listen, if you pay them $150, they'll take it off your credit report. If you want a phone with us, you got to satisfy that." I got on the phone. I went to the local Chase. I paid it at Chase, came back to Nextel, and they gave me 10 lines. Let me tell you. So now you got 10 phones, right? The question is, why do you need 10 phones? I had no idea. So I went and I got my little 10 phones, and I gave every one of my friends a phone. You want a phone? I'll give you a phone. So you get a phone. Everybody get a phone. How long did that last, right? Hey, I need you to pay your bill. I don't have it. Can you pay it for me? I don't have it. You know what? Here's the phone back. So now you got 9 bills. I had to learn credit the hard way. And for most of us, that's how it's learned. Most of us do not have anybody who is credit savvy within earshot of us. You have folk who know how to spend it and pay it back, but you don't have anybody who understands what the score is made up of. And when you call any of those credit bureau places that fix credit, they don't teach you how to fix it. They charge you a monthly. And every month, they look at your credit. I know folk who have been paying for over a year and nothing has changed on their credit report because they haven't gotten to the minimum necessary for them to start working on their credit. It's the nature of credit.
Someone has in the chat, can you transfer your balance to a no interest APR card?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's part of the game we're speaking of. So you're going to go from 14% or 10% or 22% to zero? Absolutely. Great idea. Do it. Do it. Don't use the convenience checks unless your game is short term. Because remember, convenience checks are a cash advance. So that interest will still accrue every day, or until this, it'll stay zero, right? So transfer from 14 with the convenience check to zero. How long is the offer for? 6 months? At 6 months, you're transferring it out someplace else. At a year, so you got to stay on it. It's not you just transferring and leaving it, because how long is the zero interest available for? I guarantee you it's not a forever thing, right? Because how these banks make money, it's on interest, right? So if it's a zero interest and it's for 6 months, it's for a year, let it ride. In the interim, you're finding another card to transfer it to, or another zero interest to transfer it to, depending on what the introduction APR is. A lot of times these zero interest will start off at 3 to 5%, right? And you still can't beat that with a bat. So you're zero interest for the first year, and then your second year you're at 3%. Leave it. You're not going to find an interest rate lower, right? Ride it out for the next 2 years. You're at 5%. Leave it. Right now, the average APR is I think 14.9, 15. So if you can get under 14%, leave it. Ride it out. Any other questions?
I do have a question, but I was going to add
Sure.
too. There was someone in my family did this where they transferred it to from a high APR to a no interest, but then they made the mistake to keep spending on the original card. So now they had
Mm-hmm.
money on the no interest card, but now they also was getting close to maxing out the old card. So if you're gonna do something like this, just please like get rid of it. I don't know, burn it. I don't know, do something with it that you don't then go ahead and use the card again. But
Yeah.
my question was actually in regards. I don't know if they still do this. Do
Mm-hmm.
store cards have store line credit specifically towards that vendor and that are not reported to credit agencies? So meaning like I remember a while back, like an Old Navy card would help you build credit towards Old Navy as a corporation, but not it's
Right.
not reportable. So meaning that when you look up your credit score, you see no changes because it's not being reported. It's just a straight line of credit with that store alone. Do they still do that or?
I don't think so. I think mostly everything these days is reported, right? So you don't have something where you can just uh, use it in store and it stay in store because it benefits to be reported, right? So
Okay.
most people they have uh, it's reported and it's on your credit report. So no, I don't think there are any stores anymore. Back in the day, Sears, right? Sears, you could do your
Yes.
washing machine, your dryer, your tires for your car, your bed sheets, and it was all in house because Sears had their own bank, right? So, but I don't think I can't think of, and I might be wrong. I can't think of. I'm at 80% sure, maybe more, that anything that's done these days in credit is reported to one of the three bureaus, if not all three.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be reported. I don't think it's not reported because, like I said, it's about being beneficial and getting a holistic view, right? So
Hmm.
So I think it's about and it would be in your benefit that it is. I don't know why you would want to really keep it, if you're a Macy's
Um,
person.
no, I was I just remember growing up and my mom had a few of those.
Right.
So it was always on my purview whenever I went ahead and opened up. I would review the contract and everything to try to figure out like is this a line of credit specifically towards the store, or so it was just something that was on top of my mind. But I do want to open up since we're running out of time here. Does
Right.
anyone else has any questions? We want to do the raffle. We want to make sure you guys are on your way.
I just have one other question. Chase had this plan called Pay Over Time, where if you have any purchases that are $200 or more, especially for like big ticket items, if you go and charge something, I don't know if you go and buy a living room set for like $2,000, you could set it up over time where you're not going to pay any interest. They're just going to charge you a fee, and then they'll give you, you could pay it off in 18 months, 9 months, and 6 months. So let's say you do the 6 month one, it might only come out to maybe $15 for the whole year towards the fee. And there's no penalty if you want to pay it off. If let's say you get your check, your IRS check or something, there's no penalty to pay it off before that 6 months or 18 months is up. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I mean, again, it depends on the need of the consumer, right? You buying a $6,000 couch, right? And you don't plan to be moving in the next 10 years, it works. It makes sense. Does it make sense? Right? You got to go get a washing machine and dryer and you praying to get a good 10, 15 years out of it, right? You're praying you buying the extended warranty, you're buying the servicing package. So if anything goes wrong, all you gotta do is call somebody. I think it's a great idea. I think it's still going to be reported as a purchase at large. So whatever card you use or whatever, I mean, that's where the game will be played, right? How is it being reported? Is it being reported as you maxed out a card to do this thing? Or is it reported that part of the card is part of the line is being used for this item and you still have available credit? If it's something that a lot of the loan fix companies, right? Oh, we do one loan. We're gonna put everything in together, so you only have one payment, and that one payment is the one loan. So you did a credit consolidation, right? The problem with a credit consolidation is instead of having 5 cards you're struggling with, you have one maxed out line that has to be paid down on your credit report. So your score will almost certainly go down before it goes up, right? If this pay-as-you-go program is being shown the same way, then it could be harmful. But over time, it may make sense because it would free capital to do other things, right? So if you're doing $15 a month on a $6,000 couch, then you have money available to do other things. Your score may take a little bit of a beating for a couple of months, but I think for me, it's about being sensible, right? If it makes sense, right? I instead of taking $300 a month to go toward the couch, I could put $25 toward the couch. Now I have this liquid to be able to pay the other credit cards. But like the gentleman said, you have to be intentional on how you use these products, right? Because haphazardly, it's all going to hurt you. But if you're intentional on how you use these products, then you'll find yourself in a better position. So if that product puts you in a better position, right? It might not be greatest for your credit, but it'll be great for the income that you have coming in. You'll be able to use money in other places. It may make sense. It may make sense. How they're reporting is the most important thing. I would ask, how does this show up on my credit report?
Okay.
And then that would be the deciding factor, right? Oh, it shows up as a line that you've used, and then you're just paying it down. Okay, that's gonna make my score go down. But if it frees up $300-400 a month to do something else, it makes sense in the very beginning until I've paid it to a certain position.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other questions? Comments, concerns?
No, this was very educational for
Okay,
me.
go ahead.
You know, you're never too young, never too old to learn these things because everything is forever changing.
Let me share one more with you guys before. I know you guys, I don't know how much time I have left, but let me share one more little thing with you guys. For those of you who have children and grandchildren, those of you who are hoping those kids go to college, right? I was blessed at an older age, 20s, almost 30s, to have mommy learn about credit. So mommy was the first credit teacher for me, right? Come sit down. Let me ask you about this. Let me show you this. What are you pretending? What are you going to do with this? We're not just going to run out and get you a car, right? Because a car is a note every month and insurance. So you're not going to be able to save. So your first car is going to be bought outright cash. We're not going to do no notes on no car that you're going to be banging up all through college, right? We're going to get you something that you can get to where you got to go, something serviceable. That's how I started out with the car. My first car was not a brand new something. My first car was like 20 years old and I had to fix it up and put it together myself. But the reason I said that is because I think what happens with a lot of the younger folk, when it comes time to need credit, they don't have anybody who's introduced them to credit. So please, please, please take the time to sit with the children, the grandchildren, whoever it may be, and explain to them what you've learned tonight, right? How to manipulate the score, why it's important to know what the score is, because everything will be done with credit. That if they're going to school, if they decide to get a car, if they need a loan of any kind, everything will be done with credit. For those of you who have the grandkids, the kids who we know are going to need credit for college, we know are going to need credit into their early years, please don't be afraid to add them. Hear me out before y'all start signing off. Add them to your cards. If you got good cards, add them as joint, right? Not as an authorized user, Because as an authorized user, it just comes up on your credit report, but you're not responsible for it. Add them as joint. If you know you have a good card, you're great at managing, you're not going to mess them up, add them as joint. Take the card. Take the card. Take the card, cut it up, take the card, burn it, as my gentleman said, burn it. But what they will get your history.
Yes, that's what I did with my son.
Let me tell you something. That launching pad,
Yeah.
that launching pad right there, that launching pad right there is one of the most valuable gifts you can give any one of the young people you love. Right? I'm not saying let them go shop with the card. I'm not saying give them the card to do whatever. I'm telling you to guard their credit. Listen, grandma love you, auntie love you. This is what we gonna do. Right? I'm gonna be your credit counselor. You're not gonna go get nothing with your credit unless me and you sit down and talk. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take 2 of my cards, I'm gonna add you to them. You're gonna forget they're there. They're just gonna be there for you when it comes time to go get Tap and Pell, when it comes time to get a grant or a loan for school, when it comes time to decide that you want to get your own apartment or house. You have credit. You have it. A lot of our young people are in a position where they go for their first of this, their first of that, their first of the other thing. Their credit score is 0. So now they're getting secured cards. Now I'm not going to talk against the secured card, but I'm going to show you something. You tell me what you think. The bank is asking for $300 of your money, right? To give you a card for $300, and we'll match you. We're going to give you $300 more, right? So you have a $600 card, but $300 of that came out of your pocket. And then we're going to hit you with the first fee. It's $100 as a membership fee. So before you even spend on the card, you've lost part of the credit. Why? Grandma got a $1,000 Macy's card. She only uses $300 roughly a month, or she pays it off in full every month. You don't ever touch it. But now grandma's score is 700, your score is 700 on that particular item. That launching pad, that ability to be able to walk into now a car dealership because you finished school, you want to get something new, your first something new, right? And you walk into a dealership and you got 20 years of history. Your car note is different, right? Somebody else same age as you with new credit is walking out with a $700 note, $600 note. Well, your note is now $299, or you can go for the lease at $276 because you have history. I know there'll be. I'm listening. You first.
I got a quick question.
Sure.
I heard of someone, because they had a great credit score, they were able to connect to other people who had less credit scores and wanted to ride on their cards.
There's an entire business. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There's an entire business based on co-signers and guarantors.
And their credit doesn't get impacted because somebody is valuing, riding on their credit.
Usually it's an open explanation, like it's a free market type of something. It's not anybody hiding the fact that John isn't family to Jane, right? John is helping Jane do something. So the business is usually where it's at. Usually a business thing. I don't really know of it on a personal level. It's usually somebody needs Tap and Pell, or somebody needs a over the road truck. So they're doing a logistics type of company type of thing, and there's a profit share usually. Right. But yes, that you can Google it. You can Google guarantors. You can Google co-signers. And there are people out there who will co-sign for you if what you're doing makes sense. And it's for a profit.
That's what I understand. Okay.
Yes.
Wanted to
that
know,
is a real thing.
Was that a real thing? Because I heard.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is a very real thing. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Any other questions?
We do have one last question. How can you change
Okay.
from an authorized user to a joint user?
It is the same application. When you call your card company and you say, "Hey, I'm an authorized whoever the primary is on the card, that's the person who has to call and say, "Hey, Anne is on the card with me. I'd like to make her joint." They're going to want your social security number. And that transformation is just done right there over the phone. Customer service can do it for you. Any other questions?
All right, last call. Any other questions as we wrap up? Going once.
Not a question, but a comment. This has been excellent. This is
Thank
crazy.
you.
I've never heard a class like this.
Credit card and credit like Mr. K, RK. I'm telling you. I've never heard anyone present it like him before. But we're happy you all enjoyed the information. We're going to do the raffle card, and Mr. RK is sharing his information. Please take advantage and reach out.
So if anybody has any questions, sorry about that. Anybody have any other questions that you think of later on, you can always text, you can always email. My name is Randy Williams. The company's name is Kingdom Real Estate Group. What I actually do is credit and credit repair, but I am a licensed real estate broker. I help people save their homes. That is my specialty. And buy and sell and anything real estate that you need. But credit is as important as my broker license, because people walk into my office every day and say, "Hey, I want to buy a house." Well, you have a 400 credit score. How are we going to get you a mortgage? We sit down. Let's talk about what you've been doing with your credit and how we get you responsible with your credit so that somebody will loan you $1 million for a house, right? What kind of risk are you? So that's how the credit really came into play. It was teaching folk how to be able to manage their own credit. But this is my information. If you need anything at all, that's 7475, by the way. Almost forgot my own number.
So RK, someone asked
yes.
this question right before you came on, and someone
Okay.
asked a question about doing a workshop for
Okay.
new homeowners and how to manage some of those things. And one of the things I'll tell everyone here is that going through the process of establishing good credit is a basic essential skill for homeownership, because it'll teach you all of the risk management that RK has spoke today about, managing large amounts of money, large amounts of debt, large amounts of accidents that may happen, in order for you to then move money around and be able to then stay afloat throughout that entire process. So please take this serious. We'll be having this is being recorded, so this will be sharing. So if you want to refer back to it, play it for your friends, families, nephews, nieces, babies, anything that you want, please feel free. Mr. RK's information is up there if you want to have a one-on-one conversations and talk a little bit more about your one-on-one and see where you want to go in life.
So if the consortium decides to do a homeowners something, I'm more than with it. If anybody would like to reach out to me, if I get 5 or 6 people text me and say, "Hey, we'd like to get together," I do free seminars for churches. So if your church, your ladies group, your group of friends want to get together and have learn about real estate credit type of something, whatever they'll allow, I am available for all of it.
We will definitely reach out and keep you in our minds as we
Please
are reorganizing for our next 5 sessions.
All right.
We'll probably be doing this for the summer or the fall. So give us some time for planning, and then we'll reach out to everyone.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, and happy belated birthday as well. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Please send me this recording. Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
please.
we will.
Please.
We will.
Thank you. I'm still celebrating. Still birthday time. This is part of my birthday.
That's
still
good.
Celebrating. Thank you.
Okay. Share the screen to call the raffle, everyone. Hold on. I think I got everybody, but let me know if I didn't. Because I think maybe a person or two joined after. Is anyone missing? Anyone missing? Going once? Twice. All right, good. Okay, so calling the winners. Alyssa, are you still with us?
I won before, so you can run it again. I don't need to win again.
You sure?
Every session is different. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll give it to somebody else. Thank you, though. I want
Okay, no
somebody else.
problem. Thank you. Ralph, are you still here with us? Hello?
Raphael. Going once, Raphael. Going twice. Raphael, you there? Say something. All right, keep going.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, stick around
Congratulations.
towards the
Thank
end.
you.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's a typo. I apologize.
It's okay.
Safe.
Thank you so much. I'm here.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank
And
you.
one more. Miss Judith.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, for the winners, please stick around as we close out. Thank you so
Yes,
much
I'm
for
going.
everyone for joining.
Yes,
We'll
so
stop
stick
recording
around. I
now.